In this video I'm gonna explain to you how the NOWATCH app works. On the home screen you see a visual representation of your inner world. We call this the momentum visual, that changes color, pattern and shape based on your current biometrics. On the home screen you can also see your latest check-in, your stress gauge, which shows you how reactive you are to stress at this point in time, and your heart rate and steps. So on the overview screen you can see your stress recap, which is basically showing how stressed you were during the day and how many peaks you had. You see your total stress time, your stress frequency, so this is the number of stresses in the day. And then you have an average stress recovery time. And this all gives a really clear picture of your stress resilience. You also can see the time active. So how many minutes or hours have you been active during the day? How many steps or how much movement have you been taking during that day? And then finally your summary of activities with your heart rate zones. On the sleep screen you can see your completed sleep cycles, the awakening stage, your regularity, which is very important for your sleep quality, the duration of your sleep compared to a typical night, your number of awakenings and total time awake, but also your average HRV and the different sleep stages. On top of your overview page you can see your insights by AI. This is a report that is generated on a daily basis to give more context to your data. It gives insights and it also gives things that you can try out. If you want to change the tone and settings of your AI reports, you can do that by tapping the little icon there. You can basically change the intentions and topics that you care about, but you can also change the tone and voice. You can have it more literal, more creative, and then it tries to speak to you. On your timeline view, you can see your stress gauge, your heart rate, your HRV and your steps. Here you can see the different stages: low reactivity, calm and stress. You can see here during a stress peak during the day that the color of the graph is changing a little bit. This means that I'm experiencing a stressor. During the morning you can see that there's a stress peak here as well, but it doesn't change color because I was physically active. Now it separates physical stress from mental stress. You can also have a look at your heart rate data from the day, your HRV data, and with HRV you can see all these little lines. This means that there's no registered biomarker at that point. Often that happens because you move your arm or your whole body too much, and therefore there's no way of telling that there's an accurate signal of HRV to be measured. But for example, during the night you can see that there's almost no line like that, because you're mostly laying still and therefore the measurement is very accurate. Finally, you can have a look at your steps as well, so you can see if you are moving and how much movement did you get in at what time. The last tab in your NOWATCH app is called Intentions. At Intentions you have two tabs. Guided sessions, those are exercises that you can do in the moment to calm down. And there's open sessions, where you can record any type of activity, like having a coffee, or cycling, or taking a sauna, or a plunge, or surfing. And if you go to a report, you can see the stress gauge of that moment. So is this increasing or decreasing reactivity? But also your heart rate, how does that change? And your HRV as well. NOWATCH also automatically detects walking, cycling and running. From the home screen you can also start a session. You can click Start Session and it automatically appears in the app. Here you can see how your physiology is changing based on biofeedback. So you can see in real time how your heart rate or your HRV is increasing or decreasing. From the home screen you can also start a check-in. A check-in answers the questions: how do you feel right now? You can say whether you're calm or stressed, and positive or negative. Answering this question trains the algorithm to understand how you actually feel by combining that with your biomarkers. You can also say what you were doing and who you were with. The other thing you can do from the home screen is set an alarm. The NOWATCH will vibrate at this specific moment in time to wake you up in the morning. It vibrates for 1 minute, and by pressing the button once, you can turn it off. On the right top corner of your Now screen, you can see your settings. In the settings part of your app, you can see your battery life, you can see your profile and change it, you can request beta access, and you can go to your vibrations. Vibrations are subtle vibrations on the wrist that either remind you to reconnect to the present or return to calm, depending on your settings. Furthermore, you can change your notifications, what notifications do you allow, and you can export your data.